and concentrate. Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah,
Come, let's build. Come, let's transform. Come, let's make this place a better place for not just this generation, but the next generation and the next generation. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Again, we have a unique moment in time to talk. I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off by saying, not everyone who comes to you and cry or make you believe that they're desperate are actually desperate or in need. I want to say further, there are a lot of people who pretend that they love Grenada and that they're patriotic. No, they're not. They love their party. They don't love Grenada. They want power. And they would do every and anything to get power. They would call programs. They would cry. They would plead. That's normal. And I understand that. I have been in talk radio for the last 11 years and still going. And I listen to nearly all talk radio programs. So I know the voices of those who call every morning saying the same old thing every morning and crying and pleading. I am accustomed to that. These things don't move me. And anytime I mash the con, they tend to get all bitter, all sour, all angry, and they call in and talk about Kem Jones and Kem. And I have been in this long enough. They have thrown the kitchen sink at me, and I'm still standing. But I will continue to expose the NNP. I will continue to expose the old cock. I will continue to expose this curse that is still around. Because it seems as though 41 years is not enough for the old cock. So he wants to stay for 50 in the whole parliamentary system. He wants to be MP for 50 years. And when you look at his constituency, not much has happened in that constituency. So I will continue to expose them because the level of jealousy on his part is very clear. You don't need to be a genius to see through it. He's jealous. He's envious. He's living a life of hate and bitterness because he was defeated by a young guy, intelligent, smart. I mean, it's a pap he got, The old cock got a political pap. And he's hurting. And you can see it every day. He's hurting. So when I mash the con, they tend to come forward like some old crebo. I have wood for all, breaking it. I'm breaking the wood. Or you must run. I'm telling you. So I expect those things. And I feel happy when they go on programs and call my name because Kem Jones is a household name in this country. The littlest child could say Kem Jones. It's short and it's attractive. Kem Jones. They call my name more than anybody's name in this country. But Kem Jones is a household name in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Because I have been there in the vineyard fighting this good fight consistently, so even if they verbally attack me, even if they say all manner of things against me, I am here. I have been here for quite a while, and I have defeated them. I have proven that I can defeat them. They doubted because they won once, they won twice, they won 3 times, they won 4 times, they won 5 times, but I never gave up. I defeated them. I defeated them. And when you're defeated, your shame plate break. When you're defeated, you're down and out. Many of those NNP supporters, they were living good. They were enjoying it all. Dry season takes some of them. I see some of them and I wonder, dry season takes some of them so quick. 3 years, And you wonder, some of them scrunty, beggy. Some of them lose their house, lose their land, lose their woman, lose their wife, lose their car. I mean, they're in a desperate situation. So they're hurting. They're hurting. Some of them, they can't go into a constituency office and beg for gas money or beg for this and beg for that. They're hurting. They were defeated. They were defeated. I was able over the many years to empower people, to educate people, and in the process, educate myself and be more enlightened on many things. It was a journey, and we continue that journey, a journey of solidification, a journey of consolidification, if there is such a word, to consolidate, right? To solidify, to make stronger, to maintain. So we are here and we're not going anywhere. And we challenge you. When I speak, let's deal with the issue. Let's deal with what I say. Can you rebut what I say? Tell me you can't. So the old cock, he's feeling it. And the NNP, generally, they're feeling it. And they're hurting. They're hurting bad. But I will not stop. I will not stop talking about the issues, because, you see, I know these same political bandits, these same political Draculas, they were around for 20-something years, sucking the lifeblood out of this nation. So they cannot fool me. They might be able to fool some other people, but not me. Because sometimes in my quiet moments, I ponder. And I ask myself, but how is it that all these conmen and crooks were able to come to Grenada and con the Keith Mitchell-led administration and con the NNP administration, and none of these people got arrested, none of these people thrown in jail, none of these people were made to pay back the money? And then I say to myself, what if there were certain people who were colluding, who were working with these conmen and crooks to enrich themselves, so they can't do anything to these people? They just have to let them walk with all our money and go with it. The Keith Mitchell-led administration mess up this country, cause this country to lose almost $400 million. And none of these convestors and crooks went to jail. None of them were arrested or charged. But today, some of those individuals who are part of the Keith Mitchell-led administration want to come and play holy, want to come and pretend that they're as white as the sackcloth or the gong of a priest. You're not. You're not. And we will not forget you. Because now they're pretending that they're fresh and they new. You want to come back, you old political Dracula. You suck the lifeblood out of this country. You're a curse. You're a curse to this nation. Just think for a moment, people. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be intelligent. You don't have to be some professor. Just think for a moment. Some convestors came into Grenada. Just for a moment. Some convestors came to Grenada. The NNP administration was in power. And those convestors were able to trick the NNP administration and run away with $54.2 million. Just think about it. Think for a moment about it. $54.2 million. You know, some of these people, some of them who playing as though they, and they want to come back into power. You bring them in the market, boy, watch. Or good to say, good to keep, They're nasty. They're bad-minded. They're wicked. They're dirty. They ain't good. $54.2 million. Remember when they talk about the shrimp farm?
The shrimp farming project is being developed by Grenada's Sustainable Aquaculture
Watch
Development
some of them now.
with the assistance from the Chinese
Watch.
government.
Huh?
The groundbreaking ceremony
Mash!
was attended
Watch
by
them now.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell.
Huh?
He highlighted the importance of the project in
Look at them
light of
now.
the lack of investment activities in the rural
Just
parishes.
Lego the dog. Lego the dog. Mash!
I've
Move there.
always
You ain't good. Move.
been concerned with the lack of enough investment activities in the rural part of the
Move
country,
there. Move. 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 Move.
with the resulting problems,
Yeah.
social and otherwise, created in the capital parish of St. George's. Housing problem, water problem, sewage problem, and all roads and other problems created for the country. And as you rightly said, the country as a whole is absolutely beautiful. And there's so much areas of the country that is not known and is not, in fact, appropriately utilized
You don't hear him?
for the potential opportunities that exist.
Grenada's ambassador to China,
Watch
Dennis
them.
Antwine,
Watch them.
highlighted the potential
Watch
benefits
them.
of
Hold
the
on.
project.
Hold on. Go back. Watch them white man and them now. Watch you trick them now. Watch you trick the Keith Mitchell-led administration. Watch them white man. You see them? Watch your white man. Watch your white man. The one in what? It look like burgundy. Yeah? It's kind of reddish, but burgundy. Look at the white man now. The one in blue, bright blue. Look at the white man and them. What trick them now? Boo! All you too damn bad-minded, wicked. These white men trick them. Trick them. Look at them. Look at them white man and them smiling. Gee, gee, gee. And look at the old political lunatic smiling with them. Look at them. Look. You see? Look. Bad-minded, nasty old piece of thing. $54.2 million. Well, you could fool. Or you can't fool me. Or you can't fool me. $54.2 million. Them white man, you know. Them white man, look at them. Look, you don't see white man. What? Them white man with blue eyes. They come and they fool the Keith Mitchell-led administration. All you move there, all you could talk to me. $54.2 million that just gone. No shrimp farm, no nothing, no crayfish, no cacado, no nothing. All little nasty.
The sign was for a project in Grenada also linked to an ambassador role.
Yep. So GSA was the project, and then Acros, they were the people who were bringing the money in.
Yeah. What would have been here and what is here now is totally different.
The site was meant to be an organic shrimp farm, a government-approved project for foreigners to invest in and gain citizenship.
They spoke about a lot of jobs, you know, for this area. All in all, I feel like a real disaster for the country. You know, that didn't go on.
Carl David was working for the man who initiated the project, Leo Ford.
So we would have employed 100 folks in the area that had the highest unemployment rate on the island. So there had to be something going on in the island where they needed a big rah-rah for the election, because the election was coming up.
Plans for the shrimp farm were announced by Grenada's Prime Minister.
I'd like to invite to the podium the Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell.
I'm so proud of what we've seen here this afternoon, and look forward to
Oh God!
to see this project take off in every sense.
The PM, as we were walking out of that, I said, I'll build it, but I'm going to need your help for the approval process. And that's when the Prime Minister said, well, the election's coming up. We take campaign contributions, talk to my ministers.
How did you interpret that comment?
That means they wanted a lot of money to make everything go ahead quickly.
Soren Daoudi, a Swedish national, was the partner who raised the project funding. Both Leo Ford and a colleague say Daoudi told them he was offered an ambassador role.
Soren was talking with his attorney, and his attorney, who's very well connected with one of the ministers, convinced him that he could become an ambassador for the UAE from Grenada.
How did he seem to feel about this?
He was like a little kid in a candy store. He went out and bought himself a pair of $800 or $900 shoes. In the ground opening, it had rained and it was muddy, and he's traipsing through in these beautiful, fancy shoes.
A year later, Keith Mitchell won his 5th term in power.
Yeah, so you see, folks, don't play with God, you know. Don't play with God. You hear me? Don't play with God.
You could build the best building. If you don't have the equipment, the medication, the trained staff, and the way you treat them. Sisters and brothers, I'm blacking out. The medication, the trained staff, and the way you treat them. Sisters and brothers, I'm blacking out.
Yeah, so you see, folks, these people could only fool all you, some of all you, but they can't fool me. They can't fool me. Just take a little moment and think about it. Because these same people, they're on platform and they're talking and they all kind of things to say. You hear me? Because they think they could fool all you and get back into power. But I am saying to you, $54.2 million. You think that's liquor money? You think that's liquor money? So these white, blue-eye guys came and they trick the NNP administration, the Keith Mitchell administration, and they run away with $54.2 million. Nobody gone to jail, nobody arrested, nobody charged. You think that's liquor money, boy? That's not liquor money. No, liquor money. That's a lot of money. You know what I could do? Do you know what that money could do? For road workers, for the debushers, right? For schools, for roads, for housing, for bathroom and toilet. That they billing for people with pit latrines. You know what I could do? $54.2 million. No one went to jail, no one arrested, no one charged. And that's just one. Here it is. Folks, Keith Claudius Mitchell, cousin, was involved in a call center business. A private entity, a private business. Keith Claudius Mitchell was prime minister at the time. The business went into some financial difficulties. And instead of the business, the call center business involving his cousin, go to a commercial bank or some lending institution and get a loan and keep the business going. That call center business involving Keith Mitchell's cousin approached the Keith Mitchell-led administration, the government at the time, for a bailout. And the NNP administration gave that company involving Keith Mitchell's cousin $9 million. And they call it an investment and that they would get 40% returns on that investment. That never happened. We never got the returns on that. So $9 million gone. Then they went as far as to give another $9 million in guarantee. So they go to a bank now. They approach a bank and they gave the government of Grenada, the NNP administration, the Keith Mitchell-led administration gave a guarantee to a bank, saying to the bank, if this company involving the cousin of Keith Mitchell, if this company doesn't pay back the money, the government and people of Grenada will pay it back. Well, two-twos, the company went bankrupt. So you're talking about $9 million as a loan that they didn't pay back, and $9 million as a guarantee that the country, the taxpayers have to pay back. The company went bankrupt. That's 9 and 9 is 18. That's $18 million. Just like that, we lost there. And you know, Keith Mitchell in the parliament said that his family going to pay back. Pay back what? Pay baback what?
I have a problem in the clandestine manner in how the government finance call center. Mr. Speaker, sir, fellow Grenadians, lend me your hands, please. The government of Grenada came right here and amended the Finance and Audit Act to enable government to guarantee loans for a company involving the Prime Minister relatives. And I'm going to say it again. The government of Grenada came here in Parliament, changed the law. When we got the Constitution, they put certain safeguards in the Constitution to avoid abuse.
that was given to us. So we don't just do nothing. But we came here, Mr. Speaker, and what we did? Change the law. There was a time when he used to come here and fling him, job for the boys, job for the boys, job for the boys. What is it now? Money for your family, money for your family. That's what it is here today. Absolutely nothing wrong. There are those who have millions in Swiss bank accounts, banks in the United States. If they want to help their family start a business, go into the bank like every other normal Grenadian citizen and stand the security for that person so they could get the loans, Mr. Speaker. Do not use government money in that kind of way. That is my problem with the center.
The member said that the government guarantee a loan to a project which members of the Prime Minister family was involved. I said, Mr. Speaker, and I need to repeat, I have no difficulty with that, and I am proud of the fact that members of my family, some members of them at least, are involved in a project that brings hundreds of jobs to rural people in the country, Mr. Speaker, so I need to make that as a fact. So I am proud of that, and I will repeat it in time in my presentation, Mr. Speaker. No problem at all. If the member have a problem, let him speak again about that.
If the government is laying out the cash, plus all the duty-free concessions, the other people don't have a dime. I'm saying to you, fellow Grenadians, I am not against the center. I am saying it's the manner in which it was done. The other people, including the Prime Minister's relative, is not at risk in this venture. You, the Grenadian people, who is at risk. It is your money that was given to them. That enterprise was to fail, Mr. Speaker. One of them, he don't even have the guts, Mr. Speaker, to put his name on the document.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I really should be the Minister of Finance explaining this, Mr. Speaker. Really should be. But I think it's important that members should not be imputing that any company received a certain amount of money from government, Mr. Speaker, and by the way, the figure was over $9 million. And that government got 40% for $9 million investment. This is absolutely false, Mr. Speaker. The government has provided a guarantee for the $9 million. It did not give $9 million, a guarantee, Mr. Speaker, has been given, plus the government invested $9 million.
Right, so that's Keith Mitchell there, using some words. So let me explain to you. So he's saying the government gave a guarantee. So the government became a guarantor, saying to the bank that we are a sovereign state, and if this company fails to pay you, the bank, the government and people of Grenada will pay that $9 million. And then he went on to say the government then also invested $9 million into the company. So 9 and 9 is 18 because the company went bankrupt and the government and people of Grenada had to carry the hard end of the stick, and we lost $18 million in that call center company involving the cousin of Keith Mitchell, right? But not only that, from the proceeds from Cable and Wireless, right? Government had shares in Cable and Wireless, and the company was owing Cable and Wireless. When Cable and Wireless sold, when government sold the shares in Cable and Wireless, some approximately $4-point-something million had to go into the treasury. But instead of it going into the treasury, it went towards paying the debt that this company was owing Cable and Wireless. So you're talking about almost 20-something, $22-point-something million, approximately $22-point-something million we lost with this call center company involving the cousin of Keith Mitchell, and Keith Claudius Mitchell, was Prime Minister around that time. He was Prime Minister. He was in government. The NNP was in government at that time. They could only fool all you know. They can't fool me. They can't.
Mr. Speaker, to put your name on the document.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I really should be the Minister of Finance explaining this, Mr. Speaker. Really should be. But I think it's important that members should not be imputing that any company received a certain amount of money from government, Mr. Speaker, and by the way, the figure was over $9 million, and that government got 40% for $9 million investment. This is absolutely false, Mr. Speaker. The government has provided a guarantee for the $9 million. They did not give $9 million, a guarantee, Mr. Speaker, has been given, plus the government invested $9 million, Mr. Speaker. What is being pointed out, Mr. Speaker, here is that the $9 million will be repaid by the company starting in March.
Right. So the company never repaid the government of Grenada, or the people of Grenada never got that money back. So that $9 million that the government of Grenada invested in that company was never returned. We never got it back. The company went bankrupt. So that $9 million just vanished, melt like this. And then we had to repay the financial institution that gave the $9 million to the company, because it's a guarantee. The government and people of Grenada gave the commercial institution, the bank, that guarantee that if the company ain't pay, we the people gonna pay it. So we lost 20-something million dollars. And mind you, I spoke to you about the shrimp farm. You know, we lost $54.2 million in that shrimp farm. We lost that. Nobody went to jail, nobody arrested, nobody charged. We lost approximately $22 point something million in this call center involving Keith Mitchell's cousin. And if you add up all that money here, you know what I could do? And that's just some, I could go to E.J. Miller, Ekram J. Miller, some white man again that the NNP opened the leg for and allow to come and shaft Grenadians and rob and con Grenadians under the NNP administration, under the Keith Mitchell-led administration, 20-something or 30-something million dollars, and he just run away with it. He and his family go and eat and drink and marry themselves on yachts and so on, while we left holding the bag. I mean, it's sad. And some of these same political Draculas want to come back and watch over the bank, the blood bank. Those Draculas go suck all the blood out of the nation. They can't fool me. They cannot fool me. Nope. They might be able to fool all you, or some of all you. Not Kem Jones. You matter what? And they come and they on stage and platform and talking as though, they knew and they fresh. I'm going by Miss Mary, Miss Jane, and I'm taking this tail here and I just splashing it, Wrong with all you? All you can't fool me. Not Kem Jones. Your mother what? Your mother what? Can't fool me. You look at NDC. This NDC administration. You see any white blue-eye man, any con man coming and con the NDC administration? Not one. Not one of them. You see that? In 3 years, have you heard of any con man, any crook that coming and con the NDC administration? No. Excuse me. No. And all you want to play, watch. All you go only fool certain people, and call a program with a host who can't even say seismic. It's all you could only call that program and talk all your nonsense. Nonsense. You hear me? Nonsense. Call this program now. I could deal with you. Because you see, this host here is knowledgeable. And I'm on top of my game. I am the Dan Gorgon in Talk Radio in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. No one could come test. I'm the best. in this business. Call. Challenge me now. Challenge me. NDC been in power for the last 3 years. Have you heard of any con man, any crook that come here and con this country of millions of dollars? Or dollars for that part? Or that matter? What's wrong with all you? Are you confused or? Are you mad or what? I'm saying the record is there to show that the NNP has been a curse to this nation. A curse. But they want to come back. Or they want to come back. Move there. Move. Move there. And Kem Jones just say that about that. And Kem Jones just call them this name. And the old cock. Go somewhere we ain't want you. Go. You bad spum. Go. Move. A curse. They have been a curse to this country. Look at the amount of millions and millions of dollars, boy. Nobody go to jail. Nobody arrested. Nobody charged. Huh? Nah, man. No matter what. And then you have one. Well, Sheldon Scott this and Sheldon. What's wrong with all you? Sheldon Scott, that old tomcat. Meow! Meow! This guy, Sheldon Scott, admitted to wrongdoing, you know. When he was pressured. Don't forget that, you know. Some of you forget that. You think Kem Jones forget that? You lie. You think Kem Jones forget that? You damn lie. Sheldon Scott was not employed at the time with the government of Grenada. No. No. He was employed with a new national party, a political party, not the government of Grenada. And Sheldon Scott was using a number 534-5113. That same Sheldon Scott who bumping Igum on that NNP radio program, right? It used to be Hard Talk, now it's Talking Points or whatever it was, NNP flagship program. The man was not employed with the government of Grenada. He was employed with a new national party, and he was using a cell phone number 534-5113. And I exposed him. I broke the news. In 1 month, this guy's cell phone bill was $22,797.25. You heard what I just said? Some of all you have shallow memory, you know. Not Kem Jones. I'm a student of history. Not Kem Jones. I am a student of history. And deal with the facts. So some of these folks calling some program on WeFM and talking nonsense. What's wrong with all you? Something wrong with all you? Huh? Are you confused? Or? In 1 month, you know. In 1 month, Sheldon Scott phone bill was $22,797.27. And taxpayers' money paid that, while that old tomcat meow was working with the new national party. What's wrong with all you? Something wrong with all you? Calling and say, but Sheldon Scott this, and Sheldon Scott should be in the Hall of Shame. In another month, Sheldon Scott phone bill was $26,818.10. Taxpayers' money went into paying that. And the man was working for the new national party, not the government of Grenada. What's wrong with all you? Sheldon Scott. That should be the last name that come in all your mouth. Huh? the last name that come in all your mouth. What's wrong with these people and them? Huh? In another month, Sheldon Scott phone bill was $20,141.70. And taxpayers' money had to pay that. Taxpayers' money. Sheldon Scott, that old tomcat. Meow! Meow! That's the last name that should come in all your mouth. And you on radio and podcasting, talking for NNP. And what's wrong with all you? Move there. Mash. Move. Taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money went into paying that in full. Taxpayers. What's wrong with all you? I have a problem when all you start to behave as though you have convenient Alzheimer's and dementia. I want to remember always. I want to refresh your memory. Because you see, some of all you forget. What do you forget? You see, I'm a student of history. And I have a very good memory. I could remember things last, 25 years. But you need to start remembering. Because these people are coming at you again. And you listen to the guy talk on the program and talk. Boo! Move there! Move there! Talking on program, playing as though he's... What's wrong with that old piece of... Huh? Cow dung, your old cow. What cow dung I use? Piece of mess. Something wrong with all you. Something has to be wrong with all you. You hear me? You have to challenge these people. You got to challenge them. Because some of these people believe that Grenadians forget. They believe that the Grenadian people forget. Don't fool yourself. They believe so. And if you let your guards down, then they're going to take you for a ride. Right? They're going to take you for a ride. So remember, I broke the story and I exposed the tomcat. I exposed the tomcat. Don't forget that. He came forward and he admitted to it. Yeah. Came forward and he said, because why? He was pressured. Pressured into admitting to wrongdoing. But Grenadians, you must know that it's taxpayers' money we are talking about. Taxpayers' money we are talking about. It's not any and anything. It's taxpayers' money. And we have to hold these people accountable. Because today, they come in front of you and they're playing all holy and all good and all clean. And nobody could point any finger at me to say that I have been involved in X or Y. And nope. I challenge them. And I'm saying these people, they give you this impression that you have to speak to your children, speak to the younger set of people and let them know about these people because they want to come back in power, They want to come back in power. But folks, I told you I have to deal with this Nimrod Olivier guy. So Nimrod said this on the platform.
Let's talk about the backbone of this country, our farmers. This village right here has fed this nation from time immemorial. These men and women are out there breaking their backs in the blazing sun. They're planting dasheen, nutmeg, cocoa, banana, and feeding this entire nation. And what do we do to them? This administration has blatantly turned their backs on the farmers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. There is no support for the farmers.
Right. So this is what this guy is saying on the platform, Nimrod Olivier. And I had to laugh because sometimes We have to put the facts out there because the facts matters.
The Ministry of Agriculture officially launched the 2025 plant distribution season during an opening ceremony last Tuesday at the Mirabel Propagation Station in St. Andrew. The event was attended by senior officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, representatives from the Chinese Agricultural Mission, and farmers and fisheries representative in the Senate, Roderick Sinclair. Over 70,000 plants are available to farmers and the public as of Wednesday. The plants were propagated at the ministry's stations, including Ashinden, Mirabel, and Maron, and include a variety of fruit trees, spices, ornamentals, and tree crops. Chief agronomist at the Mirabel Propagation Station is Alison Haynes. She revealed that despite the challenges posed by Hurricane Beryl, which impacted the 4 stations, they surpassed their expectations for this year.
This year, a total of 77,587 plants were produced by the 4 propagation stations. 16,242 plants more than the targeted 61,345 plants.
While most of the plants will be available for sale to the public, over 6,000 spice plants, tissue culture bananas, and plantains have been allocated to support the re-establishment of 50 acres of spices and engage schools in planting activities for the new spice.
The commissioning of the newly enhanced Mirabel Abattoir was held this morning. The ceremony was attended by key government officials, agricultural stakeholders, and community members. The project is officially named the Mirabel Meat Harvesting and Processing Plant, was part of a wider project which commenced in 2004 and was completed in 2011 under a wider project called Grenville Development Project, which included the bus terminal, the market, and abattoir. Although the facility was completed, it was never commissioned. According to Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan, noted there were many delays with the project, which later received assistance from ICA, who provided technical and financial aid.
The advancement of plant and crop production was realized on Thursday, 27 March, with the official handover of the Mirabel Tissue Culture Laboratory. Through the support of the Chinese Agricultural Mission, the Ministry of Agriculture continues to advance the building of capacity and sustainability of the agricultural sector. The new facility will bolster the sector in the production of a variety of disease-free planting material, which will enable an increase of quality production of crops by farmers. This being a part of the government's plans towards Grenada's food security mission. Minister Lennox Andrew expressed his elation in the completion of the facility and spoke to the collaborative support of the People's Republic of China. The Ministry of Agriculture's artificial insemination program, which began a year ago, has yielded positive results through the use of both the synchronization protocol and natural heat. The program has led to 8 successful births with the calves, which boasts improved genetics being recorded in the parishes of St. Andrew and St. Patrick. While the program faced some challenges, particularly the need for inseminators to shift from the synchronization protocol to the natural heat method, Chief Vet and Livestock Officer Dr. Kimon Cummins is satisfied with the outcomes.
Toggenburg, La Mancha, and Nubian is known for its exceptional milk production and quality, marking a significant step forward in modernizing and expanding, has now become part of a Westall farmer livestock population. Byram Booker, a well-renowned farmer in the Westall area, has just added a variety of hybrids.
Farmers in St. Andrew praised the government of Grenada for the implementation of the Livelihood Incentive Program, a beacon of hope, for some a fresh start, others a major boost. The first batch of farmers throughout Grenada today received finances that is expected to help cover costs of replanting, damaged infrastructure, and continued farm development, a means towards helping them to recover from the impacts of Hurricane Beryl. Well-known banana vendor in the town of Grenville, Anthony Hannibal, who is also involved in root crops, is hopeful that the payment will help him restore 10 acres of bananas he had under production when the hurricane passed. 70 farmers benefited on Friday from the Grenada Development Bank and G-Crew's donation of irrigation systems under the Challenge Fund for Agriculture irrigation equipment, including advanced drip and micro sprinkler irrigation systems valued at approximately 700,000 EC dollars, were handed over to farmers. The undertaking is implemented by partners of the Green Climate Fund, the German Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservation, Nuclear Safety and Consumer Protection under its International Climate Initiative.
My name is Rudolph Licorice. I live in the bottom Marigot. I'm with Gan and the hill over there. I charge roughly about 2.5 acres of land, and I do well. I do a lot of things I plan. And I get this check now, so I feel pleased I could put it back into the land and help back, so then I will continue doing farming, because I do farming and fishing.
How do you feel about the Ministry of Agriculture's or government's assistance to farmers?
Well, I feel they're doing all right. Yeah, I'm pleased about what they're doing.
Akash Bagwan, a veterinary services student, along with Shamal Kujo and Jacob Thomas, both crop science students, departed for Guyana on Sunday. They will be based at the Guyana School of Agriculture for the next 2 years to refine their expertise in their respective disciplines at the diploma level. Prior to their departure, the students met with the management team of the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources on Saturday, which included Minister for Agriculture Honorable Lennox Andrews, Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan, and Acting Chief Extension Officer Lawrence St. Louis.
This project is very timely, and it will do us great good, for in this area farming is very restricted because of the water situation.
Each farmer will be receiving 2 black tanks, but to add to that, there will be a catchment area that will be built with 2 water bladders containing 10,000 gallons each. So that will be 20,000 gallons. And of course, beneath the catchment, there would be other tanks set up, giving us the capacity, extra capacity of about 20,000 plus gallons of water. So that should be a significant dent in the amount of water the farmers would have available to them. The system would not only be set up, but there will be an irrigation aspect of it, in which pipes will be run to the individual farms, and the farmers can tap in to that water source.
After about 5 years of being non-functional, the Farm Machinery Department within the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources and Cooperatives has been recommissioned with new equipment and new standard operating procedures as part of efforts to improve support provided to farmers. The support to farmers is geared at enabling them to improve production, efficiency and long-term food security. Head of the unit, Atlee Hosten, emphasized the significance of modernizing agricultural practices to ensure efficiency, sustainability, and the ability to meet growing food demands. Grenada's agricultural sector has reached a new milestone with the establishment of the country's first government-led national hatchery, officially launched at Mirabo St. Andrew. Housed in the repurposed Mirabo boxing plant, the facility represents an investment of over $1.5 million and is expected to revolutionize local poultry production. The hatchery, developed through a public-private partnership between the Government of Grenada and ADM Caribbean Agro, aims to reduce the country's dependency on imported day-old chicks, a practice that has long posed cost and welfare challenges. Marva Caliste, representative of ADM Continuing with support to poultry farmers across the island, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources, under the poultry aspect of Component 4 of its World Bank-funded Food Security Enhancement Project, handed over nearly 2,000-day-old chicks to over 100 backyard farmers. The event, which took place recently at the Botanical Gardens, also included a donation of starter feed to support the farmers and will continue throughout the entire life cycle of the birds to ensure their proper nourishment and survival. The chicks were handed over to the farmers by Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan and Livestock Coordinator Nugent Bernard.
Our livestock compensation packages will include and are limited to equipment and material support, and I said limited to because we've been asked numerous times, if farmers are being given monetary support for the livestock component of this burial compensation stuff. So far we have been providing support to the different subsectors. I'll just list what is being done so far and what is to be done as we move forward. So in terms of the apiculture, which is the bee industry, on the 19th of September, the Ministry of Agriculture, to the aid of the 8 Chinese Mission, would have donated 50 boxes, 500 frames, 500 wax sheets, 10 extractors, 40 bee suit to the beekeepers. Presently, we had just received 98 bags of pollen substitute that we would be delivering next week to the beekeepers, and that was donated from the Caribbean Beekeepers Association. From the consolidated funds, we have our first 250 out of 1,000 boxes that we would have procured to be given out also. Metal excluders, wax sheet, hive tools, frames, smokers, all these are for support to the apiculture industry. In terms of livestock and pigs, we have donated about 400 bags of feed. Close to 40 farmers benefited in both the Eastern and Northern District. Those were donated by the Caribbean Agriculture Network Disaster Reduction and Management Team. We had 900 bags of feed that was donated to the Sistile from the consolidated funds, about 100 farmers benefiting from this. We had another 1,000 bags of feed went up on the September 10th, with nearly 200 farmers benefiting also, that including Petite Martinique getting feed. Still to come, we have 150 tanks to send up to Carriacou. We have 240 tanks. The next bit of the tank should be here today, making it 350 tanks to be donated to both between Carriacou and Grenada, and Petite Martinique also. 600 rows of fencing for both sheep and goat farmers to be distributed both between Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Building supplies, we have facility upgrade under the World Bank program, animals to be given out also under that same World Bank program.
Quite a number of payments have been made to date, but I just want to focus in terms of the additional support that we have been providing. So in the area of land clearing, as we are all aware, the northern parts have been severely impacted by the hurricane with the loss of quite a number of trees, many economic trees. So at least 2 days after the hurricane, the Ministry of Agriculture would have procured approximately 30 chainsaws and deployed them at the district agricultural offices. We also would have entered into some private arrangements with private chainsaw operators to be able to do some cleaning of the lands. So to date, we would have spent approximately $2 million in terms of chainsaw support and cleaning of farmers' land. Again, what would happen is that the farmers would make a request to the district offices, or the extension officers would visit, and they would do the assessment, and then they would deploy the chainsaw gang, whether it is from the ministry end or the private operators, to clean the portion of land that have been affected. We also had an ongoing program called the ADAPT program. Just over $1.3 million have been allocated to that program. To date, we have spent $787,000 in terms of farm labor support. I want to emphasize the fact that because quite a number of trees have failed, it is important that farmers get access to the land, and that's why we would have had that initial drive to clean up the access road and to be able to clean the farmlands so that the farmers could go in and start replanting. In this regard, we have a number of our propagation stations have been damaged. We've been able to salvage.
Phase 1 of work on Grenada's agro-processing plant has commenced at Lakalome in St. David. The state-of-the-art facility, which is situated on 2 acres of government land, will be outfitted with state-of-the-art equipment that will support local agro-processors. Work commenced in January by Selective Engineering Company Limited, with an estimated completion time in the next 4 months.
I'm Kamira Phillip. I am representing Selective Engineering Company Limited. We have been engaged on this project to complete the earthworks, the retaining walls, and concrete pavings. Currently, we have 5 individuals on the site, but we also have some others working, fabricating steel and preparing formwork off-site. So we will estimate at this point in time 8 to 10 persons. We're always excited about being engaged when it comes to nation building, positive projects that affect communities.
In a move to strengthen the fight against predial larceny and protect the livelihood of local farmers, the government of Grenada handed over 2 4x4 vehicles and 6 motorbikes to the Predial Larceny Task Force on Thursday. The handover, led by Minister for Agriculture Honorable Lennox Andrews, is intended to enhance the operations of 44 newly trained predial larceny prevention officers who recently completed a 6-week training program under the Royal Grenada Police Force.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources is implementing a series of measures aimed at mitigating the impact of Hurricane Beryl on Grenada's food security. In addition to the extensive land clearing support provided to farmers post-Beryl, the Ministry of Agriculture is also on an intense drive to increase the volume of planting materials made available to farmers. Details in this report.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry officially launched Grenada's National Seedling Distribution Drive last Friday, marking a significant step toward enhancing household food security and encouraging backyard gardening across the island. The initiative is being supported by several key partners: seed donations from ICA Grenada, technical assistance from the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, and farming tools provided by the Chinese Agricultural Mission. Speaking at the launch, ICA representative.
The 3-year pilot project is estimated at a total cost of US $1,338,500 and is supported by the CARICOM Development Fund, CDF. The Young Entrepreneurs, Farmers and Fishers in Agriculture and Agribusiness project, which is supported by the CARICOM Development Fund, is expected to put young people like poultry farmer Floyd Thomas and others in the sector at the center of government's transformational agenda, improving their livelihoods and significantly contributing to Grenada's food production and security.
I do believe that if we work in unison as a collective body, we can achieve much. I will like to see that Grenada is one of the leading economies in the Caribbean amongst its peers with regards to smaller islands like Barbados.
Well, my name is Lloyd Pancho. I'm the coordinator and one of the instructors for the livestock component of the training program, Youth in Agriculture. The livestock component of the program basically exposes our trainees to livestock rearing. Basically, we have small and large ruminant component. We have poultry production, piggery, rabbit production. These are the major areas that.
Government's continued support for the development of the agricultural sector was highlighted on Thursday during the official opening of the Young Entrepreneurs, Farmers and Fishers in Agriculture and Agribusiness Project Office. It is located in La Sagesse, St. David. The Youth in Agriculture program is funded by the CARICOM Development Fund at a cost of over $1.3 million. Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. David, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, in his remarks encouraged Grenada's youthful population to embrace agriculture.
Again, the evidence is there, right? And then you have this guy, Nimrod Olivier.
Let's talk about the backbone of this country, our farmers. This village right here has fed this nation from time immemorial. These men and women are out there breaking their backs in the blazing sun. They're planting dasheen, nutmeg, cocoa, banana, and feeding this entire nation. And what do we do to them? This administration has blatantly turned their backs on the... Let's talk about the backbone of this country, our farmers. This village right here has fed this nation from time immemorial. These men and women are out there breaking their backs in the blazing sun. They're planting dasheen, nutmeg, cocoa, banana, and feeding this entire nation. And what do we do to them? This administration has blatantly turned their backs on the farmers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Country, our farmers, this village right here has fed this nation from time immemorial. These men and women are out there breaking their backs in the blazing sun. They're planting dasheen, nutmeg, cocoa, banana, and feeding this entire nation. And what do we do to them? This administration has blatantly turned their backs on the farmers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. These men and women are out there breaking their backs in the blazing sun. They're planting dasheen, nutmeg, cocoa, banana, and feeding this entire nation. And what do we do to them? This administration has blatantly turned their backs on the farmers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. There is no support for the farmers.
Right, so folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back with you on Sunday from 1 to 2 in the PM to continue the journey again. Also remember that this program is funded by people just like you, home and abroad, and it's always a good thing to give, to support, and keep this program on air. All right, so all you need to do is to send me a WhatsApp message or call me up and indicate to me that you're willing to give something to the program to keep it on air, to keep it afloat, to keep it going. All right, it's month end around this time, so it's so important that you give to support the program to keep it going. All right, so